Hey everyone. Yeah, I thought I'd kind of do this video in response to what I've read. Well, not just in response to what I heard Rich from ReviewTechUSA have to say, but basically what I said in my mini review for Mortal Kombat 10. Um, and it does have to do with what I said, basically with the easy fatalities and the fact that you have two options. You can gain tokens, earn tokens to spend in the crypt to unlock the easy fatalities, or you can microtransact and get the easy fatalities for either 99 cents for 5 or 4.99 for 3. I mean for 50. I mean for 30, I should say. And this is something that apparently, not, apparently a lot of people, they don't like is, not just the easy fatality deal, but it's more along the lines of they don't like the idea that if the game says one thing, then they do another. It's to them, it's not really fair or anything. It's not really justified. You know, you have games basically out there that, you know, tell you that if you do this much in a game and you earn this much XP or coins or tokens or whatever, you could use that XP, you could use those coins, you can use those tokens to cash in on getting some, valuable and useful items or rewards or unlockables and stuff like that. And a lot of players, a lot of gamers, people, they like that because it makes them want to work hard, play hard, get better at what they're doing so they can finally earn those XPs, earn, earn those XPs, earn those coins, earn those tokens, whatever, so they could spend them. And they're okay with that because, like I said, it makes them want to work harder and stuff and do all that. But what they don't like is when the same company, the same developers, come out and they say that you could do that in the game, but on the other hand, they come out and say, but if you want to make it easy on yourself, you can put down so much in cash, and you could get all these items that you would have to earn XP and coins and tokens for throughout the game. You can get all these other items, all those same items, if you will, just like that with just spending a certain amount of money. And there's a lot of people that are not in favor of that, and I can understand that and I, along with anybody else, can understand that. Hey, wait a minute, we just spent we spent about $40 to $60 on a game, if not $70 on a game. Now you're asking us to plunk down another $5 to $10 to maybe $30 for what? What? So we could get items that we could easily get for free in the game. What's the point? Well, here's the point. See, there's a lot of people that are basically casual gamers, and I think this is what this whole microtransaction deal is at times. Well, a part of it anyway. I think it's more about attracting those casual gamers. When you have a casual gamer buy a game that they're a fan of, and even though they don't play it as much, you realize that you kind of get the idea that they may not, in my opinion, you get the idea that they may not know how to do certain things so they can unlock certain things, or they know how to perform certain moves or fire certain weapons the way they should. So what do? Well, you look at that and you say, there's an opportunity to probably get more money, true, but you realize that since they're a casual gamer, it's not going to really hurt them that much, and they're not going to really mind it. In honest truth, in the honest truth, in my opinion, that is correct. That is true. The casual gamer wouldn't really mind it because at least they know, okay, I have this game. Let's say I have nephews or nieces or friends that come over, and they've already unlocked this and that because they're more the hardcore gamer or the more daily gamer than I am, and they've already gone and unlocked these things, so they're going to probably expect them to be unlocked over here. So basically what happens is, companies, developers, they probably do research, they probably do focus groups, and they realize that there are those kind of people that are casual, that have friends that are the daily, if not hardcore gamers, that when they come over and want to play that same game that the casual gamer has, that they're going to probably expect to see things that they've already unlocked over there. So that's sometimes why you have these microtransactions, because they know, at least for the casual gamer, they'll have that stuff ready for those people to enjoy and everything along with them when they come over. Now, like I said, I know a lot of people are not fans of the microtransaction deals, because like I mentioned earlier, what's the point of plunking down $40 to $60, if not $70 for a game, when we have to plunk down another $20 to $30 for it as well? It doesn't make sense. You might as well just say, okay, this game is going to be $90. Just come out and say that, or come out and say the game's going to be da 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 da. And believe it or not, they do that. They do that. Believe it or not, there are companies like NetherRealms, EA, and several others. They do that. They come out and they release 2 different versions of the game. One is either $20 cheaper than $20 more than the original release, and and sometimes it could be $100 more, all depending. Companies do this. They have different variations of the game that they release. Sometimes they release it just alone on its own, which is sometimes $60 to $70. Sometimes they'll release a platinum pack or an ultimate pack, which is, in a sense, $10, $20, $30 more. And sometimes they'll release collector editions that maybe have statues or figurines or comics or artwork and stuff like that, and that costs maybe $50 more or $40 more or whatever. The thing is, there's different variations, and the more you spend on those different variations, the more you get. Like the collector's editions, you get the figurines, you get the comics, you get the artworks and all that. You probably get the soundtrack, and you also get all the unlockables that you want, like the easy fatalities in the case of Mortal Kombat, the brutalities and whatever. Anything else, or depending, like let's say Madden, you get all the tricks of the trade there. WWE, you get everything there. All depending on the different versions. So yeah, should they just come out and probably just release one version with everything in it and just say, here, this is how we're going to do games now? Now, not only do you get a game, but you get all this along with it? Yeah, maybe they should do that, but, it gets it all out of the way. But what's the fun in that? You know what I'm saying? What's the fun? Or should I say, yeah, what's the fun in that for them, huh? There is no fun. Because I know that may not make sense, but to them, financially, it may be, for a consumer, financially, it might be an easier choice just to say, hey, let's just make it, you guys should make it this much and maybe add in this and all that because we're spending so much on it. It might make more sense to them or to the consumer to do that, to the gamer and the consumer to do that, but to the developer and the company that's releasing the game, financially, it's not as fun because, you're not making the money you need to make. And sometimes that's also the thing with these microtransactions. The companies do these sometimes, as crazy as it sounds, to help them survive, to help them pay their employees, pay their creators, the developers, so that they can have the money not only to feed their families and stuff, but for the company, for the developers themselves, it allows them to have the money to move on and make better games, make a better sequel, stuff like that. It allows them to do that so that, you know, they can give back in a sense, a strange sense, give back to you. Now, like I said, I don't, honestly, you know, I could see both ways of it. Okay, I can understand why fans don't like it because you're plunking down already, like I said, about $40 to $60, $70 for a game, and now you're being asked to do more. Instead of just instead of just coming out and saying, here's this DLC that we're going to give to you, but you know what, you don't have to worry about it, it's going to be free. Or, here are these easy fatalities as DLC, guess what, you don't have to worry about them, they're going to be free. You know, instead of doing that, it's all about making an extra buck here and there. And you can't sit here watching this video on your television, your iPod or whatever, or your Kindle, computer or whatever. You can't tell me that if you were in the same boat and you knew, hey, we can make more money financially for this company to not only enable it, or for our company, to not only enable it to grow more and allow us to make bigger and better games and all that for the future, as well as pay a little extra more to our employees, our developers. You can't sit there and tell me you guys wouldn't do the same thing, because you would. You would do the same thing, you know it, and I know it. And again, you don't have to be a fan of microtransactions, because, and look, again, you don't have to be a fan of the whole microtransactions deal. I get that. You know, honestly, it's something that, you know, Rich has said is going to hurt the industry probably in the long run. Maybe not as bad as what happened 32 years ago. Okay? I can understand Rich's point there, and I can probably understand Angry Joe's point. But the thing is, nowadays, nowadays we're in an era, we're in a time where the economy, you know, mostly here in the States, where a lot of these developers are located, this economy is unpredictable. You don't know if it's going to get better and rise up, or if it's going to get worse and go and drop down. No one really knows. No one really knows, and that is why you have companies, and not just video game companies. You have companies like where I work at, Walmart and Target and Kmart and Kohl's and all that do their own little microtransactions, especially if you apply for their credit cards. They're always going to have those extra fees in there. You just don't know about it. And heck, honestly, sometimes companies like mine, we don't know about it. But you always have those little microtransactional fees. So it's nothing new. And when you think about it, microtransactions have been around since the dawn of online gaming. When you think about it. We may have not seen them, but they've been there. So it's nothing really new. Again, we may not want to be in favor of it, and may think it's a stupid practice for them to do, to garnish as much money out of our pockets than necessary, instead of just coming straight out and saying, okay, this is what the game prices are going to be from now on. You know, with the time and place that we're in this era that we're in, as crazy as it sounds, it makes sense. Look, do I like the fact that I have to shell out maybe $5 extra more because I'm a casual gamer and I want to have an easier way to do the fatalities? No, I'm not in favor of it. You know, would I rather just, earn my way to do it? Probably. But when am I going to have time to do that? You know what I'm saying? Do I like the fact that I have to spend $30 more to unlock everything in the crypt? No, I don't. But again, when am I going to have time to do that? And let's be honest, folks. Just because certain things, like the microtransactions, for unlocking things, they don't necessarily unlock everything. Let's be honest. They don't unnecessarily unlock everything. There are still some items, and games have proven this. The WWE games have proven this. There are still some things that you have to unlock in-game to use them. You can't depend on buying and unlocking, you can't depend on seasonal or access passes or anything to get all the items. Sometimes you gotta play the game to get those items. So there's still that when you think about it. So, in the end, are microtransactions really necessary sometimes for certain games? No, not really. But if you're a developer, if you're a company that wants to give back to the fans even more so in the future, you want to give them a bigger, better game, maybe a bigger, better sequel, then yes, as crazy as it sounds, microtransactions are necessary. So it's kind of a win-win situation when you think about it. It's kind of a win-win, 50-50 situation. It's a win for you guys. It's a win for you guys because in a sense, it's kind of a let's put it this way. It's a win-win situation. It's a bittersweet win for you guys, for us, as casual, daily, and hardcore gamers because we may not like having to shell out that extra money, but at least we know, in a sense, it's going to go to a good cause. It's going to go to getting bigger, better games, maybe bigger, better sequels to the franchises we're fans of. And on the development side, it's a win for them because it allows them to have that financial money, that financial backing that allows them to do so. Again, do you have to be a fan of this kind of practice? No. Do you honestly think it should stop? Yes. Do you have the right to that? Yeah, you have the right to believe it should be stopped. And that if there's any kind of stuff that should be downloaded instead of like earned and all that, but whatever, it should be for free because you've already plunked down a certain amount of money. Like I said, you've already plunked down a certain amount of money. So again, so in the end, it all depends on how you look at it. Do you have to be a fan of it? No. Does it have to, in your opinion, does it have to be stopped? Do they need to just make it free because you've already plunked down the money for the game? Yeah, you have the right to believe that. Do you have the right to maybe start a petition to get it stopped? Oh, heck yeah, you do. You got all those rights. But until someone comes out and literally says that these microtransactions, let's put it this way, until someone from the gaming industry itself, from either Nintendo, NetherRealm, EA, Rockstar, 2K, whoever, whatever game developers, until someone from the gaming industry comes out in front of the world and says the microtransactions need to stop and that we need to give this stuff, this DLC stuff, to the people for free because they've already spent money on the game and they are supporting us. Until that day comes, I do not think microtransactions are going to end. You can like them or you don't have to like them, but until the day comes that someone from the gaming industry comes out and says that these things literally have to stop. These microtransactions have to be put to an end, have to be put to rest. Microtransactions are always going to be around. And like I said, when you think about it, microtransactions for online gaming have been around since the beginning of online gaming. We just haven't noticed. So that's just my take on it. You let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. Talk to y'all later.